The purpose of this video is to answer the question, why should I buy a piano from Brigham when I can find pianos on KSL or Craigslist or eBay even for 50 bucks, 100, 200, even $400? Why should I spend a little bit extra and get a piano from Brigham? The value is very much there, and everybody that has purchased a piano understands that and very much appreciates that. And I'm going to talk about my checklist that I go through on all these pianos. Pianos are very much like cars in that they deteriorate over time. Sometimes I get the question, aren't they more like wine and cheese or like an old violin where they increase in value over time? No, they get worse with age, and I take care of all of that. These pianos that are just a few $100s on these websites, they need extensive work. They need several $100s in work just to get them functioning, and then they haven't, and that's just the bare minimum just to get all the keys to play and to get it decently tuned, and they haven't had a fraction of what they really need, which is what my checklist is. If I had to estimate, I've never calculated it up, added it up, what the value of my checklist would be if I were to do that for a customer in his or her home. If I had to estimate, it would probably be well over $1,000, and well over $1,000 to do this. So the value is very much there. This is an extensive process that would be very expensive if it were retail. So I want to talk briefly about this checklist, specifically what it is. It's several pages long, very detail oriented, 4 pages long. I start with initial prep work where I just remove everything. I take the action out, take it outside, blow it out with compressed air, clean it. I remove the keys, clean them. There's usually a layer of dust about 1 inch thick, just caking everything. I remove all of that and clean everything. I replace all of these felts. I replace incidentals like key knobs, rubber bumpers, all of those sorts of things. That's everything is vacuumed and cleaned and lubricated. That's all the initial stuff that I do. The trap work refers to the pedals and everything relating to the pedals. I polish these pedals. I replace all of the leather and felt and bushings and ensure that everything is properly lubricated and tightened and working just as it's supposed to. That's the trap work part of my checklist. Then I move on to action prep, where all of these parts are re-glued. If there are any loose parts, everything is checked, which eliminates any clicking. I replace bridle straps. I'm in the process. I've got a few bridle straps replaced here. Everything, there are so many little parts, as you can see. I've heard that there are more parts in a piano than there are in a car, and everything is tightened, and I replace anything that's broken, find any loose pinning. Pinning is a major part of a piano action. Then I move on to regulation, which refers to the proper adjustment, basically, of all of these parts. When the pianist plays, there's quite a bit that goes on between the pianist's finger here and the hammer actually striking the string. There's a lot that goes on in there, and all of those parts have to be precision adjusted to work in relationship to each other. And back to the cheap pianos that you find on KSL, they're without exception way out of regulation, and they're not going to give you the proper touch. Then after regulation, I move on to things like tuning and the final prep. I polish all of the wood, another polish usually of the pedals and the metal hardware, cleaning of the keys, all of that sort of thing. Reshaping the hammers to get the right tone. Anyway, the value is very much there, and you will save money, a lot of money over time. You'll very much appreciate what I do to my pianos. Well worth it. Thanks for watching the video.